Hi, I'm Tom Judson, and I'm going to show you a little bit of what I'm working on for this 2.2 project that I've been working on with Thomas Tucker. What I've done is I've created a couple smaller different software packages that will manipulate and work with data in the same way that Thomas is working with his cellular information. When we first started talking about it, I decided the best thing to do was use cells in the same way that he was. So what I've done is I've created a small cellular MIDI synthesizer here. And what this is really doing is this is creating cellular data and sending MIDI out to an instrument. Now the instrument that I have moving here is, for example, is a bowed piano that I'm using in Ableton Live. But what you'll see here is I have the ability to record and work with that data. So you can see I have the ability to work with simple loops. I have the ability to create cells very much in the same way as the game of life that you see. The cells will evolve and change over the time of performance. So if I clear that out, what's happening here is these cells are hitting certain other cells and setting off these spots at the bottom. These will set off different MIDI notes that are controlled in this area over here. I've got my tempo control, I've got a wrap area where I can control. I can also control the sensitivity. So for example, if I fill the matrix up here, I can reduce the sensitivity down so it's not receiving nearly as many. You can see much slower here. I can move up how much more sensitive the cells are to setting off the triggers. So I can also control an offset, which will give me a different pitch and a different range that I'm working with. So these real-time control environments that I can use. I also have the ability to work with the pitch. So I can use that here, transposing it up to D sharp, E flat. I can adjust the note length, which in this case for the sound of music isn't really useful. I could change the scale, so I could start in a major scale. I can very easily change that to a Dorian scale. I can change that to a Phrygian. And the various modes, I can move it to a whole tone scale. And the trick here is to really keep the matrix flowing. Now I've got this set up so I can control it. I think there should be pause and space in the music so that we can actually hear what's going on. And here's space and delay. So we could use the whole tone, we could do a typical octatonic, and also set this up with a diminished seventh chord. And this area right here is simply sending the MIDI data out. Now I can manipulate the data how I want. This is the simplest of the ways that I've done this. I actually have, this is a 16 by 16 grid. And how I'm using this is in the same way that Thomas is setting up his devices. So, for example, in the second device, he's got set up a grid that resembles something kind of like this. And I can draw in the matrix and I can set it up and then set off the device in the same kind of way that he has it moving. So the idea here is to be able to directly relate the spaces of his cellular data to my cellular data. Now currently this is designed to be mostly 2D and to work in 2D space and on stereo. However, the long-term goal of this is to have this in a 3D space, also to work with it in 5.1 surround sound, depending on the shape and the size of the presentation. There's a couple other things that we've worked on, but I just wanted to give you a general idea of what we were looking at here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Thank you.